Thanks again for tuning in and taking the time to be here with us on Everything Catholic. Well, recently, we interviewed a priest from an Eastern Catholic church, Father Jason, and we released the interview on our main channel, Armor of God. And during the interview, I asked him about what he thinks of Russia, and he said this.
I've spoken to people who've lived in Russia for 20, 30 years, who are not allowed to speak freely right now. And nevertheless, I was able to speak in strict confidence with a couple of these people who marvel at the gullibility of people outside of Russia to believe in the lie that Russia is undergoing a Christian renaissance. It is a complete lie.
I usually do not like to interrupt during an interview, and I recalled another video where Father Joseph Iannuzzi talked about Russia as well. So let me share you this clip of Father Iannuzzi instead.
The churches in the West are getting emptier by the year. In all Western countries, including America. And many Christians have apostatized. Many priests who are failing Jesus, and monasteries and convents are emptying. Now, this doesn't apply to every monastery, every convent. Some are in increase, but I'm talking in general. The vocations are declining in the East, in the West, and they're actually increasing in the East. Governments in the West are extinguishing the little light left of Christianity in public schools, prohibiting prayer, and in public places. You can't do at sports events prayers. They prohibit the catechism in certain public schools under the pretext that there are other religions in the classrooms and they will be offended. The Western world leaders have openly supported a, in quotes, new world order. The European Union, which is West, allows gay marriages even in churches. And the present-day US administration is encouraging this as well. In 2015, the US Supreme Court declared same-sex marriage legal. Transgenderism, critical race theory have been introduced in Western public schools across the US, and these eviscerate faith-based Christian mores. Immorality has spread in the Western world, losing all the human and spiritual values previous generations have labored to establish. Abortions are in demand and enforced in the West by law. However, in Russia, as we speak, hundreds of new churches are being built out of necessity. And the ones now used are filled, in many cases, with believers. Certainly, but I'm talking in general. Many are filled. You go to the countries, they're overflowing. In some of the cities, they're not so packed. Because in the city, you tend to have more of the urbanized way of life and more secular and business-oriented approach to religion than in the country. Now, the Russian churches, their monasteries are growing with new novices. The government in Russia does not deny Christ, but speaks openly and encourages schools to keep their Christianity. And you know what the Russian government teaches at schools, at public schools? Christianity in the catechism. America doesn't do that. The government, together with the church in Russia, declare openly that they will not be part of the European Union and the New World Order because the EU has lost its moral values and their Christianity as they had in the past under the Soviet Union. So even Putin in the public, I'm not playing politics. I don't know who Putin is. I don't know if he's good or bad. But what I do know is that he rehabilitated a Christian church just a few months ago. He went there. I saw the video and they interviewed it on the news. They interviewed the whole situation. It was about to foreclose and he opened it up and he invested money from the government to rebuild his Christian church. He was against the whole idea of the European Union trying to force the Vatican out of a seat of representation there. The EU and the United Nations as well. They want to get the Vatican out of there. They believe they no longer need a Christian presence. Now, it has been declared on the part of the Russian leaders that they declare that no one will tear us away from our faith, and we will defend our Christian faith. It's Orthodox, of course, it's not Catholic, but it's still Christian. We will defend our faith until death. The Russian government has openly denounced the New World Order. I want to be clear on this, because I've seen several false articles saying Russia wants to create a New World Order. This is completely false. You won't find him saying that. You'll find him saying the opposite. Is in public condemned it, and the EU wants to promote a New World Order. Russia's declared the agenda promoting gays are not welcomed and not allowed to make processions nor gay marriages in Russia. Russia's declared that any foreigner who wants to live in Russia must be asked, 1, to learn Russian, 2, to become a Christian and follow their traditions. And if not, they are not welcomed. And now Russia is predominantly Orthodox Christian, and they have all 7 sacraments, like the Catholics do. And they allow Christians to openly express and practice their faith. There are in Moscow several Catholic and Anglican churches that they allow to flourish as well.
Now, I'm sure we have different views on things, and I try to be respectful towards everyone who do not share my opinions. But for me personally, as I have been listening to Father Iannuzzi a lot, talked to him a lot, and I received a lot of advice and guidance from Father Iannuzzi, so I am obviously leaning more towards Father Iannuzzi on this matter. Well, some people will agree and some others will disagree. But as I said, I accept the fact that people have different opinions on things, so just sharing my position on the whole thing as well. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and hopefully you've learned something from this video. And remember, if there's any feedback or suggestion, please let us know in the comments below. And until the next time, thanks again for watching, and may God bless you.